You get stale.
Popcorn?
Popcorn.
Popcorn.
Popcorn? You forget about things like stale.
Popcorn. Popcorn. Stale popcorn.
Popcorn.
Pop.
This is the
Stale popcorn.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Stale Popcorn Podcast. I'm your host, Steven, and with me as always is my co-host, Christopher. Chris, how are you doing now?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Steve?
Oh, not so bad. We're going to be talking some good stuff today. We got timestamps if you want to take a jaunt, skip around. We got some movie news. We're going to be talking about Severance, Season 2, Episode 6. We're going to be diving into another grand old movie from Apple. And we're just going to dive in and get started. Chris, do you mind if I start off with some news?
I don't mind. Let's hear it, Steve. What do we got here?
I got an odd pairing for you.
Ooh.
The Rock.
Let me guess. Kevin Hart.
No. I said odd, not obvious.
Oh, sorry. I was doing a joke here, buddy.
Sure.
What do we got here?
Here's a pen. Draw me a map to the joke next time. All right, Chris? How about that?
All right.
The Rock and Martin Scorsese.
Ooh.
They're going to do a mob movie together.
Oh,
yes. Also starring
okay.
Leonardo DiCaprio and Emily Blunt. Thoughts, Chris? Go.
I get the Leo and I even get the Emily Blunt, but I wonder what The Rock's going to do, what he's got cooking there.
Oh, yes. Apparently he's the main lead.
Really?
So, I think this is just a tired strategy that Hollywood's been doing over the past few years. It gets people talking about odd pairings like this, or like dramatic things, just to get the water cooler discussions going back at it again. You know what I mean, Christopher?
Well, I'm actually thinking, because remember Jonah Hill? He was always a comedy, a fat boy, a silly boy.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went on a Scorsese flick, Wolf of Wall Street. That was like his first actual serious roles, I guess.
Yeah.
So maybe he's trying to pull a Jonah Hill.
I mean, The Rock's done serious things, but I just don't think anyone takes him seriously.
Scorpion King here? What else we talking?
Scorpion King. Bloody San Andreas. He got bloody.
Yeah, Skyfall or whatever. The one with the tall building.
Yes, he's got one leg.
Does he? I've never seen
He's
it.
got one leg. I don't know. I'm not laughing about the one leg. I'm laughing about him, how dumb he is.
No, you're laughing at an amputated Rock here.
Sure, yeah.
Scissors won that fight.
Very good. Hey, that was a really good joke.
Thanks.
I'm really proud of you. Oh, jeez. All right, moving on. Will Smith. William J. Smith.
Welcome to Earth.
Welcome to After Earth.
That's what he said to Chris Rock right before the famous slap heard around the world.
Yeah. It was all just a misunderstanding. He thought Chris Rock was an alien.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us here.
It really does. There's talks of a sequel out of the old Will Smith. Now, if you just off the dome, what
we're
film?
Talking iRobot? We're talking I Am Legend?
Close. I feel like those would have been better.
Oh, is it After Earth? Which is
Yeah,
kind of
no.
weird. I never realized he was in a movie called After Earth. Welcome to After Earth.
Yeah.
Pursuit of Happiness? Is it just like a sad sequel where they go bankrupt and they all slowly die and I think AIDS are involved or something? No?
Oh, geez, yeah. No, Hancock.
Oh, all right. What is it? Just Hancocks?
Yeah.
What?
Two hands, two cocks. Sorry. Okay. Jeez. Anyway. I'm so tired.
Is it really Hancocks here? Do we have a name for it? Is it untitled?
There's no name. There's no name. All right, this is from Screen Thrill. It says, Will Smith teases Hancock sequel and says Zendaya has been approached for the role.
Really?
Yeah, he says, quote, there's a really cool Hancock 2 idea. We haven't talked about it. I'm going to give you a little piece. Zendaya is being approached for the role in Hancock 2. Yeah. What do you think? I don't remember Hancock that much, do you?
It came out like, '08 or something? But from what I remember about the movie, it was PG-13. But I think they came out with, they put out one release, sorry, that's R. And they didn't want it to be R so they could make more money. So then they cut some things out. Still R. Third time, it took 3 or 4 tries. And then eventually it's they had to cut out statutory rape. And I was like, what?
gosh.
I could be crazy, but that's what I remember. They're like, all right, fine, we'll take it out. And then it got PG-13.
I remember hearing something about an R version and a PG-13 version. But also, the only thing I remember is when Hancock is in jail, he shoves that guy up the other guy's butt.
I remember him saying something on like, I'm going to take my hand and shove it up you and blah, blah, blah. And
Work him out like a puppet.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So I just typed in Hancock R-rated. This is from Mr. Berg. We had statutory rape up until 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
So
Jeez.
I guess I wasn't crazy here. I mean, it's been 15 years since I've seen the movie, but from me watching it, I was like, I don't know where you just fit that in the movie. I don't remember anything crazy.
Yeah, it sounds like the prison sequence, but it doesn't seem necessary in any sense.
That's why you don't want to be tried as an adult. Why, speaking of prison, Michael B. Jordan says he would work with Jonathan Majors again. Quote, I'm proud of his resilience and his strength through it all. That's my boy.
Yeah. Jogging my memory, Jonathan Majors, King the Conqueror, MCU, Bro. Creed 3, maybe Creed 2. One of the Creeds. He got arrested or sentenced for domestic violence. Am I correct in that assumption?
I mean, he was the king of the town for like a summer. Remember? At King, he was in Creed. He was in some other movie with Glenn Powell. And
oh, yeah, where they're old pilots. The pilots' buddies, yeah.
He was everywhere. Now I haven't seen him in a while, but I bring this up because he's in Creed 3, if you remember, with Michael B. Jordan. And the director is, what's his name? Black Panther man?
Coogler?
Coogler.
Ryan Coogler. Wait, he's the third one?
I think he directed the Creed movies.
He did the first one. I don't know if he did the other two.
He's involved. He's producing or something.
Yeah.
But a missed opportunity. Should have cast him in Sinners. Throwing Jonathan Majors, that's kind of his redemption here. All right. You got to be a sinner here, and we'll slowly work that redemption arc.
From what I remember, there's a video of him kind of breaking up a fight. Have you ever seen that?
No.
It was amidst all these allegations, and he was like, I'm going to show everyone I'm a good person.
Oh.
So if you look up Jonathan Majors breaks up fight, it's like the most staged.
Yeah. I think this
you can
is
see the director.
My memory.
Yeah.
You see the camera off screen. Yeah. You see the guy kissing the slate there. All right. Take 3 here. Make it a little more believable.
Yeah, but sure. I mean, I like Michael B. Jordan. I can't wait to see Sinners. I don't know what else I got to say about that, Chris.
Frankie Muniz, Hollywood actor who starred in Malcolm in the Middle, is now a professional. You want to take a guess?
Race car driver.
Yeah, stock car driver. He finished 10th place in Daytona. Incredible.
Yes, I have intimate knowledge of Frankie Muniz.
Yeah.
I was at work. There's just some guy I barely know. He comes up to me. He's like, "Did you know Frankie Muniz lives uptown and he sells olive oil?"
Well, did you know that?
I didn't, but I do now, I guess. He probably is lying, too. I don't even know, but
you go buy it. Yeah.
Prove me
Some
wrong.
Guy in the street panning olive oil. I got this straight from Frankie Muniz's place here.
Now I got to look it up. Frankie Muniz olive oil. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Frankie Muniz and his fiancée run an outrageous olive oils and vinegars.
Hey.
All right, sure.
There you go.
Glenn's Corner, where I'm sitting in the corner looking at nothing but a picture of Glenn.
Glenn Powell and Lily James break into a fit of giggles as they leave BFTA's party together. You know Lily
James. Was she in Yesterday?
Deborah!
Sure, yes.
Saying good chicken.
Baby Driver, right?
A thing. Yeah.
Yes.
She's in that. She's in something else, but that's basically
Cinderella.
what
Yeah. Hey. So are you theorizing here, Christopher, that our boy has found?
He might have found love, but they say there was no PDA shown. They just saw him giggling. It
starts with giggling.
I know, that's how it starts.
That smile. That's how he gets you, That's how he got us.
That smile, that darn smile. Supposedly he's been single since his breakup with Gigi Paris. Don't ask me who that is in 2023.
Who's Gigi Paris?
I don't know. some sort
model
of
and or influencer.
Yeah, I mean, she must be important. They named a whole city after her.
Ooh.
That was not my best.
I'll take it. You've had some good ones this episode.
Thank you. I am actually proud of that rock one.
I am too. Let's roll the tape back again and hear that again.
Can we get a flashback of that here?
Yes, he's got one leg.
Does he? I never seen it.
Yeah, he's got one leg. I don't know. I'm not laughing about the one leg. I'm laughing about him. How
No, you're laughing at amputated rock here.
Sure. Yeah.
Scissors won that fight.
Very good. Hey, that was a really good joke.
Thanks.
I'm really proud of you.
Well, that's all I got, Steve. But I do got something for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a question.
Oh.
And the question is, what have you been watching, my friend?
Chris, I'm holding up a mirror because I'm directing it right back to you because I haven't seen anything.
You're deflecting.
I'm deflecting. Yeah.
Well, I got more than much to make up for you. Let's start it back to the year 2000 or so.
Mm-hmm.
Meet the Parents. You ever seen this?
Benjamin, Robert.
Mm-hmm. You seen
it?
A
long time ago. Long time. In a galaxy far, far away.
I'd seen clips of it throughout the whole life here, but we saw it on the Netflix. I put it on. It's pretty funny, actually. I think it holds up. I guess it was my first time watching from beginning to end. There's some good laughing parts here. I'm exhaling out of my nose. I'm breathing loud. I'm giggling.
There's that bit where he tries to milk the little udders.
Oh, yeah.
That's a funny bit, right?
That was fun. He milked I got nipples. Great.
Can you milk
me? Oh, yeah. Classic. That one's pretty good. I'd say give it 2.5 minutes. I'm standing up. I'm clapping. And then I watch another film. Mandy. You heard of this?
With Nicholas.
You seen this?
I think I saw like a recap video of it. So I know the story, but I don't know the emotions. You know what I mean?
I heard of this film years back, but I'd never seen it. I always heard it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And I see the plot. Basically, Nicolas Cage's girlfriend, this cult, kidnaps her and he gets his vengeance. And I'm like, hey, I like Nicolas Cage. I'm all for people in cults getting murdered or whatever. Hey, sign me up.
Is this the one where he's like in the bathroom yelling with his pants off?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so. Yes.
You had to think which version of that.
I'm like, there's so many options here. This one, the first hour, it is terrible. It's awful. It's a real slow burn, and it's got a lot of these colors and red things, and they're high. They're on LSD, and it's terrible. I had to do something else, so I paused it, and I was like, I'm not going to finish this. This movie is terrible. And then some just wild hair I just had to pluck. And I said, all right, I'll finish this. There's got to be some sort of payoff. Second hour, a lot better. It's pretty decent. You get some crazed Cage here.
Oh, yes.
I think I'm going 1 minute here. I'm standing up.
Okay,
but that first hour's brutal. I don't know if I could do that again. And it could have been done in 5 minutes. And then I got one more for you, Steve. Unbreakable Boy. You heard of this?
Oh, it's the sequel to Bruce Willis's Unbreakable, where Samuel L. Jackson comes back.
He's got a boy. Or it's that other kid. I won't hesitate.
Yeah. Is this the movie about the kid with autism?
It is. How'd you know?
Okay. I thought I saw something on my feed with Zachary Levi.
It is.
He's in that, right?
Oh,
sure.
boy,
Okay. Proceed.
Now, let me ask you this. You seen the trailer?
Very passingly,
What would you think? What type of movie would you think this is?
Maybe like a feel-good, don't bully kids with autism because they might come back to get you type deal.
Well, that's kind of true, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so the trailer it makes it seem like a real feel-good, kind of like a Wonder. You remember that movie?
Yeah.
It's, one of those, and I like that movie. It's a fun, all right. It's about what's on the inside. Looks don't matter, maybe you got some weird quirks here, but hey, he's a good person. We got, can I just say a few plot points in this movie? So it starts out, Zachary Levi sees this beautiful girl, and he's like, all right, I'm India. Within 5 minutes, knocks her up. And she's pregnant. And, all right, I guess we're going to be an item here. And so they get the kid. Kid's born. Brittle bones. In other words, if you don't know what that means, it means his bones are brittle. Okay?
So it is an Unbreakable universe. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got brittle bones. A few years go by. They find out the kid's got autism. All right. Okay. And, there's some marital problems. A lot of fighting between the parents, and, it's hard raising these kids. They got another kid, too, and they got to pay all these bills, so they're all in debt. They got to mortgage the house, they got to move out and go to some worse place. And then next thing you know, the autism kid's causing trouble in the classroom. He's strangling his brother. He gets checked into a psych ward, and dad ends up being an alcoholic, and he ends up driving intoxicated with the kids, almost killing them. The mom throws him out, and then he goes, to alcohol. He's an alcoholic. And anyways, I went to the theater. I saw this today, and the theater's packed, and 80% of them are like 6-7-year-olds. And I'm just like, this is goodness. Like it's marketed as a kid's movie, and there's definitely parts in it where it's like, this part is for a kid. Like, the kid will say something, stupid that a kid would say, like, "Oh, this looks like poop," and the kids are like, like, but 80% of the movie is just like Zachary Levi being an alcoholic, and he's depressed, his wife's depressed, just like, I'm like, what is? I don't understand. Like, I didn't hate the movie, like. I think it's a good movie, but it's weird. Like, I wouldn't want my kid. I wouldn't take my kid to go see it, but it's like marketed to kids, and like it has a nice happy ending. It wraps up and you feel nice and good inside. I feel like if you're a kid, like it's just a lot, like, I'm like, just have a nice fun wonder type movie. You don't need to dive into it's just like covering all the bases here.
We're talking a good family movie, Bridge to Terabithia. That's one that everyone can enjoy.
You cover death, you cover the whole teacher-student scandal thing there.
But wait, sorry, going back to the Wonder Boy.
Yes.
What's it called?
Unbreakable Boy.
Okay, so brittle bones, autism, dealt a bad hand in life, drunk dad, divorced mom. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's just like covering all the like, hey, whatever your trauma, childhood, we're going to throw it in there somehow.
Yeah, geez. All right. So what would you give it then, rating-wise?
I think I'll go 2 minutes. I'll stand up, give it 2 minutes. I thought it was fine. Like, it was a good movie, but it's just, it's kind of weird because it seems like it's supposed to be a kid's movie, but I don't know any kid that's like, oh yeah, can I watch that again? They're just like, well, why is he doing this? What?
Mm-hmm. Do you think an autistic kid would like this movie? Or I feel like some autistic people see movies and they're like, I hate how this is portrayed, autistic people.
Maybe. But I think my main con is like the kid who you think it's called Unbreakable Boy. He's not even the main character. Like, he's probably in it 20% of the movie. It's mainly. You
talking the drunk dad? That's the Unbreakable Boy who inadvertently gets broken.
Yes. Now that I think about it, maybe that is. It's a deeper meaning because he breaks and I think you watch again. No 6-year-old's going to be like, oh, actually, this is it. But. It's not bad. I don't think any kids really loving it. Like, there's parts they'll like, but it seemed a bit much for me. But what do I know? So I give that stand up, give it 2 minutes. Let me know in the comments if you've seen this and if you feel the same or if I'm just cuckoo crazy here. And then I seen a show, Severance.
Yes.
Episode 6, I think?
Indeed. Severance Season 2, Episode 6. Chris?
Yes?
Today's episode is brought to you by our sponsor, Shared Vessels. What do you think of that? Ooh, yes. Everyone's getting some in this episode.
Oh.
You got Bert and Irving at bat, ready to swing.
Yes.
You got Dylan rounding first. You got Helly and Mark inside the park home run. And then you got Milchek, who's in the stadium parking lot.
Yeah. He's sitting on the couch in the corner, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. What'd you think of this episode, bud?
It starts off a little slow, I'll admit. I think everyone getting action, I was like, if you don't need to draw anything out, like, let's cut that and add more into other stuff. So, like, there's a part where it's like Mark and Helly, and they're just like, it just seemed way too long. I'm like, do you really need to slow-mo and watch this? I mean, I get there's tension, there's sexual tension here and all this, but I'm like, I'd rather see more of the Mark getting reintegrated, more in that stuff. Like, can we cut this scene in half and get like another minute of this, please? But
yeah, I mean, because we all knew they were gonna, smush booties. Yes. But like, I get you. I feel like it did a nice balance, kind of progressing that. And a theological professor would have some topics of discussion, you know what I mean? Consent, bloody using of vessels, sharing of vessels, you know what I mean? Innies and outies and hell and Bert and Ernie and all that stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? What was your favorite storyline in this episode?
You know what I just realized? It's Bert and Ernie are the two gay guys from Sesame Street, right?
Oh, yeah, Bert and Irving, sorry.
I know, but
yeah, ooh.
Is that on purpose here?
Sure, maybe.
Bert and Irving, Bert and Ernie, like,
It's close. Sounds a
I
lot
think they're
alike.
doing it. I think they're doing it. I will say, wasted opportunity, because you got Bert's husband, or boyfriend, whatever it is.
Do you know who that was?
Lord Denethor.
Lord Denethor, yes.
It was, they should have had, because they're eating dinner, they should have just had him eat a nice prime tomato and just had it smack right on there. A wasted opportunity.
What a scene, though. 3 top-notch masters of cinema. Oh, man, that was a really good scene.
You will not take my son from me. That's what
Replace son with husband, and we're there.
Yeah. Was I understanding it right? Because they're talking like, because they're gay. They're gay lovers. Are they husband and husband here? At least Bert's a religious folk.
Fields is Bert's husband. He was saying he's the religious one, and they kind of said that religion said that innies and outies have different souls.
Sure.
So in theory, an innie can go to heaven while an outie burns.
So they want any Bert. He was like, you go in there,
heaven,
you be a nice chaste man. And then they're like, hey, he's about to... I see him making googly eyes with this Irving over here. Oh, let's get him out of there. But his outie can just go rampant. He's going to nightclubs. He's going to whorehouses.
Or he did in the past, he said. But deep, man. It's an interesting discussion there. We got, Dylan.
Ah, yeah. He got first.
Got action,
Who's on first?
And,
His wife's being a little shady. Is it cheating? What do you think?
Is it, though? Chris, what do you think? I think so.
Yeah, it's
kind of
weird.
Down. It's cheating.
I think when you're secretive about it, that means she's got a little guilt, which means something's probably a little icky there.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
It is sad, though. It does make me feel sad for all parties involved. No, I think that storyline, it's interesting, but it's also sad at the same time. Do you think they'll find a way, maybe Dylan will find a way to have his innie be the main person at all times? What do you think?
Oh, yeah. I think he's going to do an invasion of the body snatchers, swap them out, reverse psychiatry.
Maybe once he finds out Mark's reintegrated, he'll want to be reintegrated. I bet that might happen.
Yeah, I think probably something like that. Or maybe she's going to get severed.
Ooh,
Leave the kids at home by themselves. Who cares?
Yeah, put the toilet seat up. They'll be fine. What else we got? Milchek, just bloody doing paper clips. There's a part where I feel bad for him this episode because he was reprimanded and has to reevaluate himself. And there's a part where he's like staring at himself and trying to downgrade his vocabulary. Do you remember that bit?
Oh, yes.
Grow, you know. My tomato plants like grow. So he wasn't in there that much, but the big boy of this episode was Mark Helly kind of relationship and that whole status going on. There's a lot of evidence, boy, of some pregnancies going on, you know what I mean? When he met her in the Chinese restaurant, do you remember how it was like super awkward?
Yes.
But I feel like it's hard to tell because she obviously doesn't have any kind of social skills. And she's like, oh, maybe I'll have you meet Dad, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, is that her trying to alleviate the situation because she knows she's pregnant by this guy? Also, why she's seeing him?
Yeah.
Unless she knows that she's pregnant by this man.
Or maybe she's just into him. She got it once. She wants seconds. She's going back for the dessert.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know if I love that, if that's a storyline that they would go through. I'm still holding out for Mark and Miss Casey / Gemma. I think that's a better love story.
Yeah.
TBH.
I think so too.
Yeah. Anything else in this episode that struck a chord with you?
I think that's it for me, buddy.
All right. Well, with that being said, should we talk the main course of this episode? Or should I say, should we gorge on the gorge?
Yeah, let's gorge.
Have you ever seen Easy A?
Yeah.
The woodchucks.
Oh, yeah. Give it up for the woodchucks.
Yes. Oh, man. All right, so we're going to be talking Apple TV's The Gorge. Going to be given just a basic plot synopsis, no spoilers to this section. Skip ahead if you want. And we're going to give a rating, give our recommendations. I think, Chris, it would be very prudent in this section not to spoil anything.
Oh.
Like, let's do this quickly, and then we can we can really dive into it. So if people... Because I think it's best to go in blind.
Yes, sure.
But just a very quick plot breakdown. We got Miles Teller, Miles and his Teller. Miles Teller? Anya Taylor.
Miles.
Yes. Maverick, Top Gun, Bloody. What else is he in? Divergent, other things.
Fantastic Four.
Oh, yeah. Geez. We got Anya Taylor-Joy from Furiosa, The Northman, etc. Essentially, these two are crackshot military mercenary type folks. He's charged to watch over a gorge from in one tower, and Anya Taylor-Joy is charged to do the same thing from her tower. They just got to look after this gorge, you know? That's their assignment. Without spoiling, that's pretty much it. If that's it, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's about it. They're both on each side of the gorge, and they're far away, so they can't talk.
Yes.
But what's in the gorge? Who knows?
Who knows? Who's to say? Would you recommend this, Chris? Did you like it?
I didn't think it was bad. It's not one I would really recommend per se, but it's better than, I'd say, most movies we've watched so far this year. Yeah. It's a good streamer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would not go out to the theaters to watch this. This is why we chose this, because I didn't want to go out and see The Monkey. I was like, let's watch this Miles Teller movie. So it's a good streamer. I'm interested to know your rating of it, though, Chris.
Oh, I think I'll go 2 minutes.
Sure.
What are you saying here?
I might give it 3.
Oh.
You could probably change my mind later. We can get into it. But I'd say it's fine. If you want to stream something, if you have Apple TV and you're perusing through stuff, if you finished up Ted Lasso or Severance, just turn it on. I think I liked it more than I would because we saw Captain America last week.
Probably, yeah.
So that might have something to do with it. But should we break down some spoilies for him?
Yeah, it's from the director Scott Derrickson.
Scott Derrickson. He sounds so familiar.
You know what hit films he's done?
Is he a horror guy?
He's a horror.
Horror. What
We're talking Black Phone.
Oh.
You see that? That was pretty good.
I've heard of
Black
that.
Phone 2.
Black Phone. Did he do a Marvel movie?
He did Doctor Strange.
There it is. I knew he did something like that, yeah.
He did Sinister.
Cool.
He did Keanu Reeves' hit film The Day the Earth Stood Still. You ever see that?
Oh, yeah. I have it on DVD.
I remember being so bored in that movie. As like a 13-year-old, I'm just like, what is this?
Yeah.
Why have you fallen? He did The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Oh, really?
You ever see that one?
No, I just remember at the time everyone was like, this is the scariest movie I've ever seen. And I was like, I'm never going to see it.
I remember I was probably like 12 or something. And I had a bunch of cousins come over. There's 5 of us. We're piled up in a bed. We pull up the laptop. We put on a scary film, Exorcism of Emily Rose. And it's late at night and we're watching. And it's like 20 minutes in. I'm shaking in my boots. I'm terrified here. And then I'm just like, I say something like, I say some remark. Silence. I'm like, all right, I guess that wasn't that funny. I say another one, silence, and I'm like,
tough crowd, yeah.
Hello? I was like, hello? And like, no one answered. Maybe I didn't say it loud, and so I was like, not today, and I went up and I slammed the laptop shut to go to bed. And then someone's just like, what the hell? Why'd you do that? And I was like, oh, I thought you were asleep. And then, we both just went to sleep or whatever, but
yeah.
So I only seen like the first 20 minutes of that movie.
So your cousins who are listening to this know now for a fact that Chris was deeply offended so much that he slammed the computer and got frustrated with it.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Now you know.
Yeah.
But spoilers on this.
Yes.
Should we spoil what's in the gorge or?
Oh yeah, let's
we'll get in there.
There's so much. Yeah, let's spoil what's in the gorge.
Drop them off. Maybe we talk while we go here.
Let's talk about the series of events that happened. Let's talk about
Anna Taylor Johnson or Taylor Joy. She's
a sniper.
She shoots the
sitting in the crow's nest for 10 days.
Yeah, she kills the prime minister, Reverend
snipes him.
Oligarchy here shoots him dead in the head. He dies. He's got no heirs. His bloodline's tarnished. They're ruined. And she's some sort of KGB.
No, keep doing it in this voice. I want to see.
And then it cuts to Miles Teller. It's got Sigourney Weaver. She's like, hey, you want to do a job here? And I got a peculiar set of skills.
All right, you're done. I'll tap out. Okay.
Your turn.
You got bloody Miles Teller. Miles Teller purposefully deepening his voice. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I'm Miles Teller. I don't have a job. I got no one who loves me. I'm retired. He's retired. Bloody Sigourney Weaver comes up and he said, we need a job for a mission. We need a mission for a job, and we got you. We got you.
We need a job for a mission.
We need someone who can handle themselves. We're going to drop you in the middle of nowhere. You're going to run to a bloody tower in the middle of nowhere. You're going to be greeted by a black man in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, she said that. Yeah,
her
I remember
words,
her
not
saying
mine.
that.
I wrote it down.
Yeah.
He gets to the tower. He's instructed that for 1 year, you will not have any contact with anyone. And all you got to do is watch the gorge. Make sure nothing comes out of this gosh darn gorge. So help me. And he's like, sure, let's do it. Let's do it to it, buddy. Give it the old college try.
Did she say like he's getting a good paycheck here? I was kind of multitasking.
Compensation was never discussed, Christopher.
He was just doing it for free. It's just like an internship.
That was
or
my
something?
interpretation. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Put something on his resume. Anyway, so he's doing his rounds, doing all the radio checks for months, and he goes and he looks across, and he's clearly instructed not to talk to anyone on the other side. But they got these binoculars, by the way.
Yeah.
Can I get a pair of those?
Oh, yeah.
They see the gorge is freaking like a mile, maybe 2 miles wide, would you say?
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Sure. And he sees, it just so happenstance that the new person on the other side, coming up the same day, is the ever so attractive Anya Taylor-Joy. And it starts off as this paramilitary, like, we got a mission, you got to do this, sort of thing. And as quickly as I finish this next sentence, it turns into a different movie entirely.
Oh, yes.
Now we're into, I kid you not, somebody looked at the Taylor Swift music video, You Belong With Me.
You Belong With Me.
And said, let's make a movie out of that, but only for about 40 minutes. I kid you not. The whole time, they're just writing notes to each other with big giant markers and whatever, and they're flirting. They're having a good time. They're playing chess. They're shooting stuff.
Yeah, she says, knight to E4.
Yes, ooh, exactly. He's going to sacrifice himself. Yes. And they fall in love. They get loving on each other, bloody.
He's writing poems.
Yes. And he resolves one day, he asks himself, what's more important, this gorge or this gorgeous woman? You know what I mean?
I thought you were going to say this gorge in my pants. Yeah.
I mean, either one could have been, yeah, either or, sure.
And what starts this is he sees her crying. And he's like, hey, what's going on here? She said, I just wish you could be here. And he said, hey, see you at 6.
He bloody dismantles a rocket launcher and straps a zip line to it, runs across, and then he meets over there, and they have a grand old time. They're bloody flirting. They're drinking. They're eating rabbit soup.
They're
dancing.
talking love and laugh.
They make love and laugh together, yes.
Yes. Maybe she's pregnant.
Oh, we forgot one of the most important thing before they meet together, by the way. Oh. What's in the gorge? We forgot what's in the gorge.
Oh, yeah. What's in the gorge? There's some...
What's in the gorge? Listeners, what do you think is in the gorge? We'll wait for your response.
Yeah, we'll find out next week.
If your answer was tree monster men from the World War II, then you're a winner.
Yeah, it's like Bootstrap Bill's men.
Yes.
That got, they made love with the tree and they had offspring and it's going everywhere.
Yes, we're not joking, by the way. This does happen. So, what is it? Presumably every month or so, these tree monster men try to creep out of this gorge and try to kill the world.
Yeah.
And so Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller, that their whole job is just to waste these things. Yeah, that's it. And then they waste them. Bloody hell, no.
They waste them. They shoot them. They almost get caught a couple times, but they stop them.
And
they do.
As Miles Teller goes back one day to his post, his line breaks.
The next day.
Yes, his line breaks. It explodes, and he's thrust down into the gorge and is helpless. So who should go after him? None other than Anya Taylor and her joy. She jumps down. Just caution to the wind was thrown for love. And then the rest of the movie takes place in said gorge. And bloody, we're just...
That's not entirely true.
Okay, well, some of it, and then they fight their way out and all that stuff.
And you find out the origin of the gorge.
The origin of the gorge, yes.
Because someone conveniently decided to make a video And this was like, what, 1940s World War? Apparently, when Oppenheimer's out doing his Christopher Nolan stuff, watch that film to see what's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. and the Russians, they say, hey, we got to make our own, right?
Yeah.
It's the U.S., but the U.S. is already making their own, so why are they...
It's not said where it's at. I think it's probably like Russia or something, so they got to make their own, so they decide to do a biomechanical whatever.
I know, but isn't the U.S. involved too?
Who? You know what, Chris? Who?
Because they already got it. They already got their thing going. Someone, they're like, oh, they're making a bomb here. We got to do it here. So they decide to build a station down this gorge.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a big old earthquake.
Welcome to the earthquake.
Yeah. After earthquake
Sure,
here.
yeah.
And then we got all this contagion. It turns them all to zombie trees.
Mm-hmm.
If you're exposed for more than a few hours, you turn into these tree people. And within 5 days, you'll find out if you're contaminated. It's highly contagious.
Yes. And they go down there, they fight all good stuff, and then
they escape. They scale up the mountain with a little Hummer thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sigourney Weaver, she finds out that they've been down there.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the evil plan is that they're trying to study this gorge thing and try to make superheroes here.
It's always everyone's always trying to make super soldiers.
Super soldiers.
Yes, yeah.
And Sigourney Weaver, apparently they got a live feed camera down there. And he's like, I seen you down there. And so like, yep, we got to kill them both. They're onto us. Miles Teller and Anya, they're like, we got to destroy the gorge.
Mm-hmm.
So then Sigourney Weaver comes down and with their team, and they get hunting by drones, and then Miles Teller and Anya, they shoot the things, and it makes it explode.
Mm-hmm.
And Sigourney Weaver and their helicopter, for some reason, that it sets off this alarm, and they got like 2 minutes to get out of there before it all explodes. It's like a last fail-safe here.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want nothing getting out of that gorge that's been contaminated. It's highly contagious.
You don't want nothing!
It'll be another COVID here.
Oh, yeah.
So they get on the helicopter to fly away, and you'd think, let's fly away from the gorge, because it's going to explode in 40 seconds.
Yeah.
But what do? Quite the twist. They fly in the gorge. They just fly straight down into the gorge.
She specifically says, not altitude, we need speed. And I'm thinking, well, Sigourney, hold on one minute.
Yeah. I think altitude is kind of important. And yeah, there's like no need. Like, I mean, I base all my helicopter off my, Battlefield 2 and such, but you hold down space, you go straight up. And the bomb's going in the gorge. Just don't go down. I don't think you need to do a little momentum here, but
yes,
they do that. They blow themselves hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then Miles Teller, Anya Taylor, they escape the gorge. They fall in love, and they end up getting a job at a bakery in France.
Sure. More or less, the minor details, but that's basically what happens.
I'd say so.
My mind was just a wrestling match for hours after watching this movie.
Yes. You're wrestling just like your sexuality. Sorry, what?
Yeah, sure. On paper, Christopher, a lot of these would be cons, a lot of these things. But also the cons I also liked, ?
Oh, I think I got a few of those myself.
Yeah, it's weird. If you really want to watch 3 different movies in one, then we got a movie for you.
Oh, yeah.
And it's this movie.
Romance, horror, action.
Military action, yeah. It's you know what, Chris? I'd say this is a good date night movie. It truly is, because if you liken it to a Venn diagram, I'm holding my hands up, making a circle.
Oh,
so on one side of the Venn diagram, you got like military, like men type gun stuff. On the other side, you got romance, love, flirtation, And in the middle, what joins them is the creepy World War II tree monsters and freaking like skull spiders that want to kill humanity.
Yes.
And
it's the perfect movie if you got a split personality.
That too. Maybe that's why I liked it. Yeah. But you want to talk some cons and then end on some high notes?
Yes. Before, like these, I didn't put as a pro or con. They're just questions I had, and maybe you can answer.
Okay.
So the creatures, what are they called again?
The Hollow Men.
Hollows. The Hollow Men.
Mm-hmm.
There's this big old gorge, and it's like a few miles. It's like a long gorge. And they
Very
got the
long.
2 outposts.
Mm-hmm.
Can they only climb up right where those outposts are?
You know, logic would say just walk either one way or the other. But
they only go like right where they have all the defenses, but it's a massive gorge.
it's the same principle as, you know, those people who never left the hometown after they graduated high school.
You're like, you can go
They
somewhere
peaked in
else.
high school. It's the same thing, Chris. They peaked there. That's where they want to stay.
Out of spite, they're just
Yeah.
like, we got to keep going here. This is how
Yeah.
we always done it. So yeah, that didn't make sense to me. I thought it was a mist. I thought it would have been funny if the second time, because he had to go back on the zip line again to report the numbers or whatever, then because they have the quota, he's got to go, hey, night 4 coming in, blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
I think it would have been funny if the zip line broke again and he just fell back in the gorge.
I thought that's what was going to happen.
Just like,
honestly.
all right, let's do this again.
Yeah.
How do they get out? Because I get they're free men. They kill all the people, but they're still like in this forest in the
middle of
nowhere with no vehicle or anything. How do they?
I mean, you could argue they're survivalists. They bloody.
I get that.
That's the weak argument, but that's
Yeah.
what someone who likes this movie more than me would say.
But those are just some questions I had, but we can get on the cons
Sure.
if you'd like.
Sure. I got one.
Yes.
I'm worried about Sigourney Weaver.
Mm.
I wonder if her Miami house or her, Beverly Hills house needed mortgage payments, and she needed a quick check. Because she's in here for maybe 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Wasted potential from her. When she first showed up on screen, I honestly thought it was Jane Lynch, a la
Yeah,
Glee.
Glee.
I was like, oh, cool. This is what happened to that coach after Glee. I just thought, like, if you're going to get Sigourney Weaver, do something more than have her sit on the phone calling twice and then die in a helicopter. So I thought that was a wasted thing there. The ending, kind of like you said, was clunky. It's very anticlimactic, kind of. They blow up the things, and then Anya Taylor-Joy and them just like end up together. So it's pretty predictable. The third act really isn't as good as the first two. Like, I actually really like the second act, but the third one, I was like, oh, okay, so that's how we're gonna wrap this up. Is that really all right? I guess that's how we're doing it. We just spent an hour 40 on this, and that's Scott Derrickson. Is that how you really want to play this? Okay. I also felt like a lot of volume stages, a lot of green screen bad effects. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say the effects were good, but they didn't take me out of it. So it wasn't a pro nor a con, but like I expected them to be worse. Like if you go to like the Netflix, what was that? Back in Action, where I'm like, oh, this is very like annoyingly noticeably bad versus this. I'm like, it's not great, but I mean, it's better than what I'd think here. I mean,
sure.
It was too long. It's 2 hours, 7 minutes. And it starts off and like, I would say I was interested for like the first hour, even though like nothing, like if I were to describe it, nothing really happens, but it's just like, it's kind of fun with them writing back and forth. This is kind of exciting. It's kind of weird when they're in the gorge. I feel like it's more boring than the rest. Like, it just felt like that kind of dragged on. Like the middle was just like, that was when I'm checking the phone, checking, all right, how much longer we got of this. Yeah,
it did. It peaked when they were like, because you got to know the mystery, what's down there. And then once you find out, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I feel like the writers, you've seen Annihilation, right?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like the writers may have heard someone talk about Annihilation like 10 years ago. And they're like, maybe we can incorporate some of these things, but not really. Do you know?
Yeah.
It's got kind of that essence where this weird freak accident happens and organic beings combine and there's weird mutant things and creatures and stuff, but it doesn't do anything beyond just that. And I wish it would have just leaned more into the creepiness and less of like the military whatever and I don't know. That's just my personal opinion.
No, I'm with you there. Another question, I guess. So it's top secret. They don't want anyone to know. But why, if it's like this important that like if one of them gets out, it could end the world, like why would you just have one person on each side?
Yeah, you'd think you would like put a dome around it or something.
Yeah.
If you can afford them bloody drones, them fancy drones, just put a dome around it.
Yeah.
Contain
Or
it.
just have people
You ever
with
see the
drones.
TV show The Dome?
No, I haven't.
Drones,
The drones.
yeah. There's a TV show called The Dome. They put a dome on a town.
Oh,
They
all
contain
right.
it.
Sure.
Just do that.
Maybe.
Sure, yeah.
But another thing, so the way they escape the gorge is they get on the little car and they zip line it.
Yeah.
Which this is a pro, but I'm going to talk about a con, I guess. But it's like they get on the zip line and it takes them all the way up, and that's probably my favorite scene. It's pretty cool. They're basically scaling up, and then this hollow men are crawling up and they're shooting them. It's fun. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't understand.
Chris, I feel like you're just here for the zip line. Sorry. Go ahead.
What I don't understand is like the walls. They have a bunch of like trap things that trigger it. Like there's a laser that'll set off these turrets.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of these bomb things. Yet somehow this Hummer Jeep thing, it just goes up there without setting nothing off. It don't make sense.
It don't make sense. Also, if you really want to nitpick, it's like, how does this zip line carry a however ton Jeep? Also, that Jeep's from the 40s. It's been sitting down there. How's that still working?
Yeah.
There's minor things to nitpick here and there, Christopher,
Also,
and I don't disagree with you.
Can I say another thing I just thought of?
Yeah.
So basically, the reason he falls in the gorge is he's ziplining back. And the creatures, they're crawling up the wall and they set off one of the bombs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what breaks the zip line.
Mm-hmm.
But they could still just climb up the wall. Like, wouldn't they just, like, oh, they're down here. Now's our opportunity. We could just scale the wall and escape.
That's true, because it's shown that they're not brainless idiots.
Yeah.
So, they're not brainless idiots, but they also are not impolite.
Yeah.
We're just like, listen, we know Miles has his job. We want to respect that. We don't want to put a bad mark on his record.
Yeah.
So we'll wait for him
fair.
so that, yeah.
But some pros I got, unless you got more cons here, Steve.
No, let's dive into pros.
I like that car zip line.
Mm-hmm.
I like this scene where it's right before Sigourney Weaver and them show up at the end. And he hears the helicopter and he's like, oh, I know they're here to kill us. And it shows Anya Taylor looking through her binoculars at him, and he just mouths the word run. And then it plays this music, and that
was fun. Yeah, that was fun.
It was cool because you knew he was yelling run, but it didn't say it.
Hear it, yeah.
And then it had the music. I was like, ooh, like chills, literal chills.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I like the leads. I like Miles Teller. Yeah. I like Anya Taylor-Joy in a lot of things. Miles Teller, just sidebar here, he's a bloody aging like fine wine. He was very strapping in this. I feel like this role really fit him. I feel like he's clawed his way out of those YA, Fantastic Four bullcrap, but he's a good actor. Fantastic in Whiplash, if you ever see Whiplash.
Oh, yeah.
Great movie, him and J.K. Simmons. I thought their chemistry was really good, very flirtatious. I thought it worked well. Also, lucky Miles Teller that he gets bloody Anya Taylor-Joy on the other side. Can you imagine that guy before him? Probably got some fat Russian guy that he had to stare out for 365 days.
Sergey over there.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Sure. I like that little romantic part. It's very cute. But also my blood was pumping. I was very scared when he was over there because we just established that these monsters can come at any time. But he, again, throws caution to the wind and says, I will do what I can, and I will do what I must for this Klondike bar that is Anya Taylor-Joy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I also like that it tried something new. Like I said before, it's 3 movies in one. I don't know if they're any good movies, but they're there, And then my favorite part of the whole movie, I liked the creepy gorge. I like creepy things. I like the creepy tree monsters. There's a hand-to-hand scene, fight scene with Anya and that weird tree man. That was pretty fun. Short, but it was fun. And I wish I would have seen more of that. I like the creepy whatevers, and I think it would have been much more engaging if like the main villain was that guy, and he's like, "We've been down here for decades, and we've been trying to formulate." Just like expand on that, and not Sigourney Weaver would have been more interesting to me, Chris. But
yes, I'm with you, buddy.
What you got? What else you got?
Oh, that's all I got here, Steve.
Oh, sure. Okay. Well, if you're all still listening, thanks for listening here. And comment below if you've seen The Gorge. Did you like it? Did you not like it? And also feel free to give us suggestions on what movies to see. Follow us on things. Chris, where can they follow us? Please tell them.
YouTube, Instagram, TikTok.
We're not on TikTok.
Well, all right.
We are on Bumble, and Grindr,
Grind.
and Hinge.
Sure. But,
Sure, all those.
that's all I got. Steve, thanks for listening. Have a
Forget
good
about
week.
things like
Bye.
Popcorn, stale popcorn.
Popcorn.
Pop, 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 pop.
This is the
Stale popcorn. Quick, kids.
popcorn.